Live in downtown Detroit. Local 4 live stream with Jason Carr starts now.
Hey, what's going on? If you have enough loot, you could buy the Saturday Night Fever dance floor. You should be dancing.
For only $1.5 million.
Do you have this with sound, by the way?
I do.
Crank it up. Let's get right into it. You take it full?
Mm-hmm. There it is.
Such a jam.
1.5 million. I was going to say, if it was 1.4, I'd consider getting it for this set right here. You know, I think that would go well with our newsroom look. But 1.5 is a little bit out of reach.
Think so?
Yeah.
Good morning, Chris. Sabiel, Gio, Tammy, Carson. Carson, you are correct. Tony Monero.
It's pretty good.
Thanks. Where else are you going to find this sort of infotainment? Oh, yeah. At the top of the hour at 10 o'clock, live.
Live streaming.
James Comey is going to do this.
Yeah, I think so. That's what they've got planned. I've got a bump shot right now of what's happening in Washington. We're all very excited to be watching this one.
Morning, Alicia. Hey, Cheryl, El-Marie, Leah. Chris Kennedy checking in from Australia after a one-day absence, unexplained yesterday, as duly noted by some of our fellow viewers. A nearly 4-year mysterious journey has finally ended for a cat in New Mexico. On Wednesday, Peter the cat was reunited with his 7-year-old owner, Elijah. Peter disappeared back in 2012 when he was let outside of his Albuquerque, New Mexico home. Days ago, Peter was found 600 miles away in Texas, and thanks to a chip, was tracked back to Elijah's family. 7-year-old Elijah says he's not sure where Peter's been. He's just glad to have him back.
600 miles?
He's been out catting around.
For 4 years.
He's been playing the field. He's a cat on the go. He's a feline on the make. He's a Tom about town. How many lady cats do you suppose he romanced?
Plenty. From New Mexico to Texas.
Makes me think of the old Warner Brothers cartoons where the cat's on the fence. Meow, meow, get out of here, you stupid cat. Rich and compelling. Now this.
Nope.
Oh, boxwood, not as sturdy as you thought there, Rocky Raccoon. Can you freeze it mid-fall?
I think so. Hold on.
Here. Oh.
Luckily, I don't think any of the other trash pandas saw it. So he
Trash panda. Yes, I was dancing ever so momentarily there, Al-Marie. Check out this kid doing the dishes and balancing on the countertop using his ribs. Oh, you got to lose the banner. You gotta
okay.
Take the banner down so people can...
Yeah.
There we go.
His feet are just hanging there. I mean, it just proves that kids are like made of rubber and capable of doing amazing things. I think what's also amazing is he's doing the dishes. I'm going
That's
on
even
30.
more,
I can't even
more
do that.
amazing than the fact that he's hanging off by his rib cage. He's actually doing the dishes.
Yeah.
He's doing more there than, sadly, I've
Me too.
done in the last
No, I've got a sink
4
full
days.
of dishes. I need to get this kid over the house.
As a confirmed bachelor, do you let the dishes pile up until
Until Tara comes by, yeah. Usually there's a big pile of dishes, and then she's coming over, and I was like, oh, I got to do all these dishes. My place is trashed.
Ladies and gentlemen of the viewing audience, did you catch that? John actually said her name.
Is it getting even more
Didn't
serious?
I think I said it before.
Have you? I don't think
Yeah.
so.
We've always just sort of obliquely
referred to it as, your lady friend or.
I could have sworn we did, but that's okay. Yeah.
No, not to her. We've referred to her as your lady friend. We got a lot of mileage out of. We were getting a lot of mileage out of John's bachelorhood, and then he went and got attached to somebody.
Yeah.
Now we can't. Now we can't portray John as being this John Steckroth Esquire, pipe smoking hipster of the downtown with the Kramer-esque apartment right out of Seinfeld.
Yeah, it's not quite the same, but I do have a good transition now. We went and saw Wonder Woman just a couple nights ago.
You and
Tara. Awesome movie. Awesome. And we were going to talk about it on the show, so why don't we just skip ahead to that?
Wonder Woman! Fans got a treat last week at a screening of Wonder Woman in New York City when Gal Gadot and Chris Pine walked in, surprising everybody in the audience. There she is.
In a theater in New York, and we're going to surprise.
She is otherworldly pretty with the accent. Makes her even more attractive.
Surprise everyone before they see the movie. So let's see. Let's wait. Thank you. Okay, Betty, are you going to talk? Here they're introducing us. It's gonna be crazy. This is Chuck Rohan, my one and only producer, whom I love. Okay, it's coming. There we go.
They don't know she's there.
Man, theaters in New York look beautiful.
Theaters?
Yeah, you see the inside of that theater.
Yeah. There's Chris Pine. I think my last celebrity crush was Mila Kunis.
Uh-huh.
And on the other show at the other place, we made a lot of we got a lot of mileage out of that. In fact, one day, Mila Kunis was doing an in-person interview with my former coworker, and he brought up that I had this crush on her, and she starts talking, and he's like, "Oh, but he's married," and she's like, "Oh, Jason, I think I have a new crush."
So, how do we pronounce her name?
Okay, so this is the craziest thing. If you go to like Slate.com, there's a headline there that says, "However you're pronouncing her name, you're probably saying it wrong," and then they go into great detail saying that it's Gadot, but then they include a link to all the times she says her own name. It's a very specific thing. It's halfway between an ot and an ot. It's like Gadot.
Gadot.
Gadot. I mean, it was with her accent, and it ends up sounding almost kind of you-ish.
Well, I've got an idea for a stage play.
What is
Waiting
it?
for Gadot.
Mm-hmm. I hadn't even seen the movie yet.
Oh,
I saw her in
awesome.
this other movie called Keeping Up with the Joneses. I'm sure that by the end of Wonder Woman, I'm probably going to be even more smitten with Gal Gadot.
It was a really cool movie.
Let's see. Students at Ellis Middle School are learning about the Civil War in a unique way. This is the school's 9th annual Civil War balloon battle using 14,000 balloons. Tom Compton, a social studies teacher, offered the children a reward for not dodging the balloons and having a dramatic scene when they get hit. So like water balloons.
You know, it doesn't look the same without all the uniforms, the full wool uniforms, but it does look like a good time. The teacher was saying how you really need to have a hands-on approach with these type of things. That the Civil War, it just feels you can get more out of it having types of activities like this, hands-on.
Grass is lava. We have a little girl who seems to think the grass is hot lava.
It's
I mean, She's going to be a future gymnast with moves like that. Where'd you find this one?
Just on Reddit, you know. I don't have any info about where this is or when it happened, but I just thought it was so funny we had to include it.
Such a cute age. Seems like just yesterday my daughter was that young, and she's pushing 6.5 now. Daw. Police say they're no longer looking for a suspect in what appears to be a violent store break-in. That's because the suspect in this ramshackle medical supply store turns out to be more of a duck spect. Store owners in Salt Lake City arrived to find a mess, and investigators soon after arrived at the conclusion that the intruder didn't take anything: no canes, no support stockings, no wheelchairs or sleep masks. The biggest clue came when the duck speck was caught on camera.
Mm-hmm. Apparently this has happened before.
Oh, we have our first critical appraisal of the show today, courtesy of Michelle Wiley. Boring.
Which story? Which one was boring?
I don't know. It's open-ended. Maybe the whole thing's boring.
Yeah, Michelle, you got to be more specific. We're not sure what you're talking about.
Nor are we overly concerned. Ready to see a really close call?
Oh, this is great. Ready?
Oh.
Isn't that incredible?
Who's got the stop sign?
I think the sedan's got the stop sign.
You see it there. It's there, right? Screen left.
Yep. But it's tense.
It's mesmerizing. You weren't here yesterday, but we had a video of a refrigerator door blowing off and almost hitting a guy.
I did see that. I saw that. Oh, yeah.
Now, Brian, I set you up. I gave you the footing for a bit. Did you turn that into a rhythmic beat via computer editing?
I didn't do my homework.
Oh, boy. You got to come up with something better than that. The dog ate your homework. The dog ate your software. I mean, you are the creator of the Crawdad video. I was expecting you were going to come up with some sort of mad beat for the refrigerator door blowing off. If you were watching yesterday, you know what I'm talking about. Did we know where this is?
No. There was no information. I see on the date that it was May 30th, so it was just like a week ago. But absolutely incredible. You know, and I wish there was sound, because I'm curious if anyone's laying on their horn.
Okay. China's one-dog policy. After China's lifting of its long-standing one-child policy, it's starting to put in a one-dog policy. A couple of cities in China have introduced restrictions on dog ownership. There's a $300 fine for people who have more than one dog. People who already own more than one dog will also be allowed to keep them. One city is banning dogs among 40 different breeds.
And then I also found a dog that was dressed as Woody from Toy Story. So I thought I'd throw that up there.
There's a snake in my boot.
Somebody's poisoned the water hole. How often did that happen back in the Old West, where people were poisoning water holes? I mean, really, was this a big enough issue that we had to put a voice box on it? You know, anyways.
What do you say there? Timmy's falling down the well? Texas grandmother did her first keg stand at the age of 79. Can we take a look at that?
Yeah.
All right. Good for her.
This was posted to Twitter, and it's all over the place. I see it everywhere now. So good on you.
I've never done a keg stand.
Ever?
Ever. Never did.
What?
That I can recall.
Oh, okay. Oh, Brian Dixon. All right. Looks like it's time for a little chat. So
Go ahead,
Brian,
John. I'll just do some doodling here.
A little bit curious what you mean In your comment, a little
What's up,
curious.
Ken?
What are we talking about here? Are we which story are you insinuating is falsified? Because I'm pretty sure I'm putting together a good rundown, but we'll let you get.
Now he's LOLing.
Great.
Jason, have you ever shotgunned a beer? Well, of course I have. I went to college.
But you didn't do a keg stand?
I never did a keg stand.
Huh.
Sounds like a homework project.
It does, doesn't it?
Actually, I don't. Keg beer gave me a headache.
Yeah.
So I was a bit of a beer snob in college. What little I drank was usually out of the bottle, and it was Michelob Dry.
Okay.
Nobody remembers Michelob Dry, but the whole dry beer craze was a thing for a minute back in the late 80s. Now, again, hey, Judy, we love you too. What should I draw?
A sad Comey. A sad Comey.
Sad Comey. All right. Do you have the Saturday Night Fever video to put back up?
Sure.
Here, hold on. I need to. Sad Comey. That's a good one. Can you crank the music, or is that as loud as it goes?
I can, but I always get a little fearful with music, you know? And
Yeah,
while
oh,
this
yeah.
music's playing, we'll take the bump shot of Comey's testimony. He should be arriving here pretty soon.
Okay. He should be dancing around his phrasing of answers to questions yet to come.
And here's a question. Walter Holloway wants to know if you're a Miller or Budweiser kind of guy.
Miller High Life, the champagne of beers.
Champagne of beers. Now, I've got a nice story. Here's in the Czech Republic, there's a city called Český Budweis, and it's where the original Budweiser comes from. And
What?
at some point, oh no, it's an amazing beer too. Really, just a good Pilsner. And Budweiser, the company, has time and time again tried suing the city for making a beer named after their city that is, this beer is 700 years old or something like that.
But Budweiser, well now, InBev, right?
InBev, yeah. But
Which is a French company, I think?
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but they try time and time again to sue them, and every time they lose. But yeah, I randomly walked into this city called Český Budweis, and I thought, wow, that's an interesting name for a city. And sat down at a
Turns
bar,
out-
and I ordered a Budweiser, and it was a real Budweiser. Yeah. So that's my story about Budweiser.
And you're sticking to it?
Yes.
Trying to find a sad picture of. Well, his default. There's. Excuse the phraseology here, but there's something called bitchy resting face. Also, angry resting face, bitchy resting face.
Yeah.
It's when their face is relaxed and just neutral, they look PO'd or kind of. What, cranky?
Well, the issue is when you're looking at Comey, you got to look up, and it puts so much strain on your neck.
I know. He's got one of those faces that really isn't. You can't do much with it as a caricaturist. You really can't. Lifeless eyes, doll's eyes.
Karen was asking if Live in the D is happening today because the whole Comey thing. Live in the D is happening, right?
Nope, Live in a D is, we are taping an evergreen one, taking advantage of the fact that Comey's testimony is preempting us, basically.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be on NBC? It's going to be on the television? Okay, well, if you don't have your television around or something's wrong, we're going to be streaming it on Click on Detroit, so it's going to be available out there. It's going to be, everyone's watching it today. The bars in Washington, D.C. actually are opening early specifically for all these Comey watch parties, and I guess they're going to be having all sorts of games. Every time, if the president tweets, you got to take a shot. I'm not expecting any tweets from the president during that time. I guess he's going to be watching from a White House dining room with legal staff and his closest aides. But it's certainly going to be a good thing to watch. I'm actually looking at the. This is kind of funny. Okay, so. There's the Senate, the Intelligence Committee. This is the testimony that he was put out yesterday that he's going to read before he starts answering questions. Anyways, it's very descriptive. It reads, what did I hear? It reads like a Tom Clancy novel, is what Senator John McCain said. And it really does, just like some really interesting details. And anyways, it's going to be a great thing to watch.
Think so?
You know, I don't know. I don't think there's going to be like some sort of bombshell that gets announced, but we've all been waiting for a while for this to finally come to light, and that's to be able to put this behind us maybe, so we'll see.
You realize that even with a bombshell, it has been pointed out again and again that this the president seems to be made of Teflon in terms of some of the things that lines that he's crossed, things that he's said, and is unlikely to hurt him in the short term. So it'll be interesting how this plays out.
Now, what else do we have? Oh, you know what? While you're drawing, I'll go ahead and take over. We've got a baby rhino. This is out of Estonia, Estonia's capital, Tallinn. And they just gave birth to a baby calf last Saturday. And this is the most northerly rhino birth ever. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
So you got that going for you.
You got that going. This is a black rhino.
Really?
Sure is tiny. And then I've also got some video of goats. These are the same baby goats from the Sunflower Farm Creamery in Cumberland, Maine, that we had a video of them all in pajamas. This is 47 baby goats having breakfast. The farm says breakfast can be a handful with all the goats running around and yelling, and, well, looks pretty good.
Rich and compelling.
Certainly. And I actually grabbed the pajama one just because that was like the best thing we ever found.
The best thing?
No, it's not the best, but it's pretty good.
Top 10.
Best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Can't hear it too well, though.
No, there's something's being odd with my audio. Let's turn it up. All right.
Best part of waking up, Folgers in your cup. Rich and compelling.
Baby goats in pajamas. Oh, and then there was this. I found this. This is a sea otter playing with an ice cube. And that is all.
A sea otter playing with an ice cube.
This is maybe the most rich and compelling thing I have today.
Where did he come by an ice cube?
Well, he got an ice tray. He got a tray. He filled it with water. He put it in the freezer. A couple hours later, you know, when he was making a drink, he took one out to play with. I think that's how it works.
He was making a drink? What kind of drink was he making?
An old-fashioned.
Not scissor?
No. No. Roberta Brandt says she has otters running down her sidewalk in Florida all the time. That's awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Wow. Wow. Otters. They're not running around in the streets. They're using the sidewalks. and Karen likes my recipe for ice. Yeah, that's an old family recipe. How is that picture coming? They're asking. boy, here we go. Up.
Where are you going?
Whoa. Slow down. That looks pretty good, actually. Wow.
Sad Comey.
Yeah.
Copyright 2017 cartoon.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Thank you.
Now I've got a live shot. He should be walking in any moment. So, be getting started with that here soon.
Roberta, you should take a video next time of the otters, says Kara.
Yeah.
Sad Comey.
Oh my God, that's really good.
Thank you, TV's Ken.
Oh man, I can't wait to put a gallery together. It's gonna. I mean, that whole gallery is gonna be worth millions on eBay.
It's going to be worth hundreds on eBay
Hundreds
one day.
of-
Hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Hundreds of pennies.
I designed a bowl, a charity bowl, with nothing more than Sharpie markers, and it went for like $350 at auction.
Yeah. So these are original Jason Carrs. I mean, this.
Yeah, at least a half dozen people are impressed.
Yeah.
Anderson Cooper says Comey has arrived on Capitol Hill.
He hasn't walked into the room yet, but he's probably gotten at least gotten to the Capitol. It's interesting, they offer certain feeds for us to take during the day for us to live stream and stuff. NBC does, and one of them they had a camera outside Comey's house waiting for him to leave, and I thought that's just ridiculous. Why would we need to use this?
Beth wants to know what's going on with White Boy Rick. Well, they're meeting today in Jackson. The meeting
First
could take
parole
anywhere.
hearing in 15 years, right? Something like that.
The meeting could take anywhere between 3 hours, 7 hours, 5 hours. Who knows?
Depends on how many people
No,
testify on his
the,
behalf, right?
White Boy Rick, the parole hearing. I'm sorry, what did you say about
It depends on how many people testify on his behalf or against him or so, because it could take 15 minutes, but usually they take a while. But we've got Kevin Dietz is there. I think maybe Jason Colthorpe there too. I think two of them are there.
Another White Boy Rick question. We're awaiting word.
Yeah. There's no cameras allowed during those parole hearings, so those guys are going to be tweeting. We've got a whole page put together with their tweets, so we'll know exactly what's happening when it does. And of course, when it happens, we'll send out a push alert and let you know. But this is only the first step in a whole process. If he does get approved today, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be released. It just moves on to the next step.
Winky Wink wants to know how much longer I'm going to be anchoring our morning news on WDIV. Just one more day. Everard comes back from paternity leave on Monday. Monday. So I'll be able to get some sleep. Sleeping in will constitute an extra 2 hours. That'd be nice. Buffy is praying for his release. What do you think about the whole White Boy Rick thing? 17 years old, gets caught up in a whole drug thing, goes to prison, and basically misses out on the majority of his adult life.
It's sad.
In a cage, as he says. He didn't help his own cause with the whole stolen car thing that happened while he was behind bars, but non-violent offense.
No. The war on drugs is a cat and mouse game, and you know how that ends?
Whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole. Well, the cat and mouse game, it ends, the mice win, but the cats are well fed.
What about the car? Well, no, I'll still be doing the carport. I've just been pulling double duty. Anchoring, then also doing the carport, and then this, and live in the D. So, Roberta says he's paid his dues. It's time. I feel he's done his time. Release him. Interestingly enough, this time around, unlike a decade and a half ago, nobody is saying, don't let him out.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say nobody, I mean nobody in law enforcement, prosecutor, Nobody is coming forward saying, no, he's a menace to society, you can't let him out. He makes a pretty convincing case, I will say that. Victoria, I grew up in that era, travesty justice. Buffy says there's murderers who serve less time. Can we see the kid doing dishes again?
Yeah.
You got to take the banner down so we can see
Yeah,
his feet.
see his feet.
This is my wife's dream come true right here. My wife would love to see this happening on a daily basis in our home.
It's amazing, because, I mean, like, you think that that's going to be painful for this kid, but, I mean, he probably weighs, like, 30 pounds, and, like I said, kids are just made of rubber. He's I don't know.
Or made of glue, whatever I say bounces off of me and sticks to you. Is there any sound to go with this, or is it
No.
just quiet?
No. You know, it looks like he's watching TV while he's doing it, too.
Probably SpongeBob, if I had to guess.
Probably SpongeBob. SpongeBob, me boy! Oh, can we put him back up? Like full? Today is National Best Friends Day.
Is it?
It is. Bless you. What's the nicest thing that you can say about your best friend?
I don't know. What do you got?
Brian? It must not be that good of a friend.
One all-encompassing thing that I can say about my best friend.
Oh, I'm not putting you on the spot, but I kind of am.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's a great guy.
What's up? When we golfing? All right. What do you think about the kid here? Doing dishes by supporting himself by the rib cage. If you go take the kiddos to see Captain Underpants, that's the underlying theme in the movie is best friends. You know, when you're 11 years old, having a best friend is like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Lighting up, M80 firecrackers, riding dirt bikes down hills, hitting golf balls through
Windows.
Guilty. Not on purpose. I wasn't doing that. I wasn't, vandalizing anything.
Of course not.
Playing home run derby. Any update on Comey? We could just hang out and just wait on Comey and White Boy Rick's hearing.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's walked in yet. Yeah. Will there be applause?
Do
when
we know
he
what
does?
his face looked like?
Apparently, he's drinking a Diet Coke.
Do we have a courtroom artist rendering of what Comey looked like?
Found one. I don't know.
Oh, really? Okay. Courtroom artist, since we don't have any cameras on his arrival, actually captured the moment that he was walking up the steps.
It's brilliant. Wow, that's good. No,
Too bad.
yours is in
Thank
black
you
and
for
white.
saying that.
Yours
Huh?
is in black and white. What color tie do you think he's wearing today?
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder what color. Boy, look at you getting all super
Yeah.
tight on that. Sad Comey.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Rebecca Hoover has missed so much of this webcast that she's frustrated. Oh, he's not there anymore. That wasn't a very good drawing anyway.
Really? No, it was the other one. Ah.
Psych. Seeing if you're paying attention. Good night, Buffy. You have a good one. Our live viewers have sunk to a session low.
Well, there's another live stream that's about to start.
They're bailing to go to the other live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live streaming the Comey hearings on Click On. Is that going yet?
I mean, oh yeah, no, we've had it running for the last hour. Just it's probably muted because there's nothing happening.
So we have competition, is what you're telling me,
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
from within the building. So the live stream on Facebook, anyway, on our page is climbing. I'm looking right at it in real time as we languish in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're in 73 right now, but we've been on for a while.
6 minutes from the top of the hour, I should probably get going and go.
Yeah,
tape
you got to
this.
go do Live in the D, right?
Well, no, I mean we're taping it. So, switch on over to the live stream if you're watching this on Facebook and want to see the beginning of the Jim Comey testimony for the Senate committee. We'll see you tomorrow.
Stay classy, Detroit.